What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Twinblast in the Safelane. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Improved Killing Blows, Ruthless, Multi-Shot, Piercing Basic, Critical Hits, and lastly Healing Towers. Now, for my cards, I have Cull the Weak, Exoskeleton, Growth Totem, Guard Piercer, Swamp Stalker, Swift Hunter, Wound Seeker, Trapper, one of the Tribe, and lastly, Vampiric Blade. Now, before I get into the gameplay, this is actually recorded from this weekend, this Sunday, where we ended up playing about 7 or 8 private matches with just everybody that was on Discord, and, you know, we just tried to really kill each other and, you know, really improve teamwork, things like that, and this is definitely one of my better matches. Now, we did have a few issues where, you know, we had to kind of get the matches balanced with everybody, and, you know, just that kind of typical thing, because it is private, so, you know, it took a little bit of adjusting, but we finally did, and, you know, we constantly rotated teams. This is definitely one of my better matches. Now, I'm planning on actually coming out with an off-lane video where I took and where I can kind of critique what we do as a team and, you know, just that kind of thing. But we definitely had an amazing match this round, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you were there, you know, I did pretty well. So, anyways, thanks for everybody that wanted to play, and if you do want to play, I think I might just start doing on Sundays. We'll just have a ton of private matches, so if you are interested in doing that, playing those private matches, definitely let me know. We can set up, you know, Discord and get everything squared away. You know, we had 2 different channels, so no one was like screen looking or anything like that. But if you're interested in that, from now on, I think I'll just try to do that on Sunday at about 2 p.m. Central. And the best way to get a hold of me is definitely through Discord, guys. You can send me messages on, you know, through Paragon, but, you know, chances are I'm probably already in a group or something like that. It's just much easier to get a hold of me through Discord. So definitely just kind of holler at me through there and we'll try to make something happen. Now, I was trying to get this Seraph, and I ended up almost going down for it. If I would have hit her with that triple shot, you know, this is, you know, 5v5, and we're all, you know, subs, and, you know, we're all part of the pirate crew, I guess, so we're really trying to kill each other. Unfortunately, our Richter, he dove too, and, you know, he ends up going down, and I gotta get out, guys. You know, it's very dangerous for me here, and sure enough, Crunch shows up and kills me. So, hey, that was a great play on their part. I really shouldn't have gone after that gold buff, but no problem. Cutie got a great kill on me there, and, you know, hey, Seraph, dodging around that tower, hey, spot on, man. I'd have had you with that triple shot, though, but, you know, your tower blocked me. But no problem, early death, you know, it's never good to lose your support and your ADC within the first 3 minutes of the game, but, you know, again, we're just having a lot of fun, so no problem at all. Now, that early game death was really a wake-up call, so I go ahead and put my try-hard gloves on, and we're going to start, you know, actually playing right, and you can see our Richter is not with us currently. He's actually in the off lane, so I'm just going to not necessarily freeze this lane, but I'm going to farm it very safely. And you can see I am pushing a little bit because I do know that, hey, I can call my team and they will rotate for me. So I'm not too terribly concerned about freezing this lane up. This also frees me up to get that gold when it does spawn. And since I am facing a Seraph, you know, she is just as squishy as me. So right now, you know, I can play a little aggressive against her. Now, Richter does head over, and we are able to get a gank. I end up actually getting my ult off, but, you know, she's just so slippery. She did a great job juking around there. We're not able to take her out, but that's completely okay. You know, she is kind of confined to her tower, and if Richter can land a pull, we'll be able to take her out. So, no problem at all, but now is the time to push this lane. Let's get it under tower. You know, if she does come out to challenge, we can definitely take her out, but we just kind of need to be careful. you see there, she does kind of do her ascend and jumps in. I back out of the tower. I hit her with my triple shot, you know, get a little bit more poke on her. But I am still fairly weak since I don't have any power cards on. So I just need to concentrate on my farm, make sure I'm getting my farm. I am very close to being able to put a power card on. So I just need to look for a good opportunity to back. Now, Seraph does ascend right here, and she comes in. That means there's going to be a rotation. I want to definitely, you know, keep some damage on her, and then we can see Crunch headed in. Now, I might have ended up killing our Richter right there because I did take out that green buff. That was a really poor choice on my part, and that is definitely something that, you know, a lot of people struggle with. If someone has the green buff and you do damage to them and it blows up, it's going to do a lot of damage to, you know, your hero that's close by, which, you know, Richter was probably a goner no matter what, but still, I might have, you know, he might have been able to get out if I wouldn't have blown that green buff up. So that is definitely on me, and, you know, that is a bit of an issue. I definitely need to be a lot more careful from now on. Now, I end up farming up this lane, and I need to back. You know, I've got quite a few points. I've got 8 points total now. I definitely need to back and put on a card. I end up going with my Swift Hunter, which, you know, this is a very solid card for an ADC. It's, you know, there are a couple of cards out there that are, you know, just outshine it a little bit, but for a 7-point card, Swift Hunter is a very decent card, and if you are going to have a lot of, you know, help, you don't really want to go for that Swamp Stalker because, you know, you aren't getting that bonus. But with Swift Hunter, you're pretty much always getting a bonus. So I really like having that Swift Hunter on, and typically I'll try to go for that Swamp Stalker second. But if I am playing a solo queue or something like that where I don't know if my ADC is going to be, or my support's going to be around me, I'll go ahead and pick up that Swamp Stalker because it does do significant damage when no one is around you. Now, I do poke that Seraph a little bit, I grab that gold, and I actually end up getting enough points to put on my Growth Totem. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw my Growth Totem on. You know, it is a 9-minute Growth Totem, so it will help out later, but getting that Growth Totem on as quickly as possible is definitely a huge help when you are, you know, if you're planning on keeping it for a long period of time. You know, if you're planning on only putting it on for a few minutes, hey, you know, it's a free card, so there's no waste there, but it is not as important. But since I'm planning on keeping it for a while, I definitely want to, you know, actually keep this card. Now, Crunch does make another amazing rotation, and, you know, I get out. Our Richter, he was very far into that tower. I can't deal with that at all. Sevarog does show up, so I'm thinking, hey, you know, we can definitely make something happen here. I did not expect Sevarog to actually leave, but that's not an issue at all. Crunch does head in, and you can see the amount of damage he's able to crank out. I should not have turned around. I heard that Richter. I thought he actually got that pull, so I turned around to, you know, follow up on that pull, and I actually didn't. You know, he didn't grab the pull. It was, you know, one of his other abilities or whatnot, but no problem. Crunch took me out. That was a great rotation on his part, and that kind of leads me to another point. I've been playing a ton of games lately where the jungler is not rotating to that offlane. And rotating to the offlane is just absolutely important as the jungler. You can see that jungler rotation was able to take out the ADC, which, you know, the ADC is the most important hero on the enemy team. If he gets fed, he's going to just dominate the endgame. So by them taking me out, you know, they've taken me out twice so far. I've died 2 times in 11 minutes. And that's great for their team. You know, I am getting okay farm, but them taking me out is absolutely huge. So if you are a jungler, you definitely need to be rotating to that offlane to either help out your offlaner when the tower's being pushed, or actually get a gank and a successful kill. But needless to say, they've done a great job so far. You know, I think everybody wants to kill me. So it's no big deal at all. We're just going to continue to farm. The ADC is not an early game hero. You know, he is a very late game hero. So just take your farm when you can get it. You know, it's much better to play safe. I really should have ran away from that engagement. You know, like I said, I turned around because I thought Richter got that pull, but no problem at all. And you know, we just need to continue to farm. We are able to take down this Safelane tower at, you know, it's a pretty slow tower, 12.5 minutes, but no problem at all. Now, Gideon does head over, and me and Richter, we should be able to just really tear him apart. He does end up ulting me, but you can see Richter gets that pull. Then Sevarog shows up, and we all three are able to just take this Seraph out. You know, Seraph is a very tough hero to deal with, but again, she is an ADC, so making sure she gets shut down is very important as well. So we're now 1-2-2, so, you know, we're not doing the best, but we are starting to make a comeback. We've shut them down. I finally do get my multi-shot, so I can actually start doing some damage. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out to that guard piercer, and hopefully we can start really making some progress. Now, after I leave base, you know, I can't go back to my lane right now. It's pushed very unsafe. So me and my team are looking for something for me to do. And, you know, hey, there's a play that we can make in that off lane, so we're all collapsing over there. You can see our Sevarog, Richter, Greystone, we all head over there, and I'm going to head in and try to get a kill now. Narbash, you know, Narbash is dead. I really wanted to try to get that assist on Sparrow, but we didn't quite make that. Their Crunch actually heads in, and we're able to get some pretty good damage on him, but, you know, he ends up getting out. Now, Gideon is here as well, and you can see the enemy team, they came in staggered like that, which they all end up actually getting out, which is okay, but one of the issues there is you don't want to come in staggered like that, because if we were able to get, you know, 2 more kills, that's their whole team, and then, you know, you're having those staggered deaths, so we're going to be able to push it, objectives, things like that. You know, that double, or, you know, taking out that off lane, or, you know, they're carrying ADC, that allowed us to actually take out that mid tower. You know, from here, I do need to go back to that safe lane, because they did take my safe lane during that. But, you know, the mid tower is much more important, and this is going to allow me to farm much, much safer. Tier 1s really are not that big of a deal. I really like keeping the Tier 1 in mid, but the off lane and safe lane Tier 1s are, you know, very minor. You know, they have very little importance in my opinion. You know, when they do go down, it allows you to either set that lane and rotate, or just, you know, slow farm the lane. Of course, I'm not slow farming at all. I'm pushing this lane. But, you know, it does free you up to make these choices. And depending on what your team's doing, you know, you can have that sort of freedom. Now, we do lose 2 people in mid, so I'm getting out of this situation. You know, I need to actually go make my presence known. If I'd have been there, you know, we might have been able to clean up that crunch. But you can see they counter pushed. You know, they punished us very hard for getting those couple of kills there. And that's real unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. We do end up taking out this Gideon, you know, hey, I get an ultimate kill from the top, you know, this was awesome. I didn't want to jump down because you can see there is some enemy presence there, and I need to be careful, but I want to try to hold on to this mid tower as long as I can, but, you know, with Narbash, a Seraph, and their Sparrow here, there's not going to be anything I can do to hold this tower. No problem. We got punished hard. You know, they came back and counter pushed like champs there. You know, that was a great play on their part. So, we did take out a Gideon for that Tier 1, but all in all, that was a great play on their part. Now, after this goes down, I actually back, and I'm going to put on one of the tribe and that guard piercer. So, if I'm staying with my team, I should be cranking out quite a bit of damage, and you can see I am pushing up a little bit, but I know Sevarog's there, so this is going to allow me to, you know, get a lot of damage. And you can see with this one of the tribe, we're just doing tons of damage. We end up getting this kill onto their crunch. You know, we finally give him a little payback, and we're going to just continue marching right down this lane. You know, that was a great play. That was a great gank. They were a little bit aggressive, you know, with me here. When they saw me kind of run forward, they should have known, hey, we better get out. Their Seraph did take that, and she just booked it. But, you know, unfortunately, Crunch stayed in a little bit too long, and we were able to take him out. It's fine by me, though. You know, hey, he's got me out twice. I need that payback. Now, from here, I'm going to just kind of shove this lane in, and, you know, I really want to make something, you know, kind of add some pressure. Our Richter was kind of getting set up for a gank or something like that, but, you know, it just didn't quite work out. We were able to dip out of that situation. Now, I am invis, and I'm just hanging out in this mid lane. We can see there's Sparrow, you know, she's kind of getting ready, kind of doing the same thing I am, but since I am invis, you know, the enemy's not quite sure where I am, which is great for me. I'm going to be able to really, you know, like I said, crank out that damage with that one of the tribe. And, you know, my invis does wear off, but I don't think they were expecting me to be under this tower. And with that minion wave pushed up, they just said, hey, we got to get out. You know, Twinblast he's hurting right now. So they actually peel off, and they're going to go secure other objectives. Now, right now, I'm guessing, I don't know, but I would assume they're probably taking Raptors, which Raptors is a very good play on the enemy team's part. You can see our lanes are all kind of set, but theirs is pushed a little more towards us. And with them having such a huge presence in mid, Raptors would have been a perfect time. You know, taking that objective would have been perfect. And you can see they all kind of show back up, so I'm sure that's exactly what they did. Now, I am going to rotate over to mid. You know, we do have some mid presence, and I definitely need to be there to secure these kills. You know, that's my job as the ADC. We are able to take out that crunch, which, you know, getting crunch out is huge. Now, Richter lands that amazing pull, and we actually end up taking out that Gideon as well. So, you know, that was an absolute amazing pull. I cannot believe he pulled that off. And then he ulted him, you know, Richter, he's my friend. So, we end up really just shoving this mid lane. We're going to punish them for having those overextensions and, you know, having those 2 deaths. We're going to really punish them and take out this mid tier 2. Which, you know, mid lane really kind of controls the map. If you are able to make a lot more progress in that mid lane, that really frees you up because you can easily head over to other lanes from mid lane. That's a huge advantage, and I really like taking that tier 2 in mid. It just makes things so much nicer. Now, from here, I'm going to head back to the safe lane. You can see I'm actually going to set this safe lane. So what I do is I take out this first wave, go to the second wave, and take out those ranged minions. This is going to allow me to rotate, and that's exactly what I do. I go ahead and rotate to that mid lane where the enemy has another huge presence. We're able to get tons of damage onto that Sparrow, and then we end up finishing her off with my ultimate. This also allows us to, you know, take out this Gideon, lands that root, and, you know, hey, that's a great play right there. We end up getting a team wipe. And, you know, that was just an amazing play. Now, of course, y'all know it's prime time after a team wipe, baby. So we head down to prime. Now, Safelane needs to get out. And, you know, he dips out. And us being all on comms makes it so much easier. Now, our Richter is very low as well. He goes ahead and dips out. Now, he's going to back to base. Savaragh's going to stay in lane, kind of keep that pressure up. And this is going to allow me and Greystone to end up taking down prime. And the good thing about, you know, getting prime is you can see Safelane is slowly healing up. This is really going to be helpful. We still have a front line. Even though Richter did have to back, we still have an amazing front line with that Safelane. So we're just going to shove this mid lane and hopefully, you know, make a great play happen. Now, Safelane does root that crunch, and we're able to finish crunch off. So there's one, and then we end up taking down this mid inhib, which, you know, hey, great plays all around. We end up actually getting that kill onto that Narbash. We take out Sparrow, and then we finish Gideon off. So there's our 4. We end up getting a 4 kill. So quad kill, you know, hey, that's pretty nice. And then, you know, Sparrow actually gets a little caught out, and I go ahead and finish her off. So we kind of get a pentakill. You know, I didn't say it because it, you know, the timer or whatever. But we end up actually getting 5 kills. So, you know, great. It's always nice. It's always nice getting a pentakill on your team. So, no hard feelings, guys. You know, this was a really fun match, and this was actually one of the only matches my team won. So, You know, they definitely did a great job. And like I said, we were constantly switching up teams. So, you know, this was a really fun match, and I really enjoyed doing this. So I think from now on Sundays, I'm going to try to do these private matches. And if you are interested in it, please join the Discord and, you know, just shoot a message. Say, hey, I'd like to join. And, you know, yeah, every Sunday at around 2 p.m. Central, we're going to try to do these. And, you know, hey, we might do 2 or 3 or, you know, for as long as my wife will let me keep playing. So, but again, this was a really fun match. We end up actually taking out this crunch right before the match ended. So, you know, it was again a really fun match, and we had an absolute blast. Now, thanks to everybody that played. You know, this is definitely something that I want to continue doing, and I really think this did improve our team play skills from the first game to this, you know, last game that we played. We made some huge progresses, and I think I even see, you know, our skill levels growing in the not private matches we've been playing over this past week. Well, that's going to wrap this video up, guys. This was an absolute blast, and I really look forward to playing next Sunday. And we can see maybe these skills actually stick with us. But again, thanks for watching, guys. And if you did enjoy, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.